In today's lesson, there will be two very short videos. The one on question 6.8, which is the exam question on forms in Access. And the second video will be on question 6.9, which is a question on reports in Access. So let's do the first question, question 8. They've already given you the form and they just want you to make some design changes to the form. The first thing they want you to do is to change the country to a combo box. That means that what you should be seeing here in the corner of the box is a little drop down arrow, and if I click the arrow, a list of all the countries appears. So we've got to do that. The second thing we need to do is put a border, a red border around the details section of the form. And the third thing that we need to do is here in the footer of the form, insert an image. Now, you all know by now that if you want to make any changes to the design of a table, a query, a form, or report, you need to change to design view. So let's do that right now, and we're going to go into design view of the form. So there it is. And the first thing I need to do is fix up this country field here to a combo box. So I'm going to click on it. Can you see that it's selected? And if you right click, you'll see that there's a long menu that pops up, and near the top of the menu it says change to. So we're going to change this to a combo box. Now the minute you do that, the properties here changes. If you don't see this, just remember you can always go and click on property sheet there. Now what we are busy with is where must the data for that combo box come from? That whole long list of countries, where must the form go and fetch that? Well, I know because I had a look at my tables, and I know that in the teams table there is a field called countries, and there's a list of countries. So I'm going to tell the form to go and fetch all of those countries, that list, from the teams table. And you do that here. So it says control source is country. The row source, where is the source of that? Well, it's in a table called teams. So do you see those three little dots there? Click on that and this opens. Does this look familiar? This is a query in design view. So I'm going to choose teams and add it and close this. And from teams, I want country. That's all you do. Okay, it's as simple as that. Simple as that. Let me. Yes, I want to save it. And I should now have a combo box for teams. Let me go and have a look. I mean for countries. Beautiful. There are all my countries taken from the table teams. Okay, the next thing that I need to do is put a border around the detail section. I just want to make this detail section a little bit bigger so that you can see better what we're going to do. So around here, I'm going to put a border. And it must be a red border, and just to make it clearer, I'm going to also make it a big fat border. So when you're working in a form in design view, the form design tools contextual tab opens, and it has three sub-tabs: design, arrange, and format. Under design are these controls. We've worked with these controls before. We inserted a label, we inserted a text box, we inserted a button, and one of the options is a rectangle. So let me go and scroll down and get there's my rectangle. And I'm just going to draw a rectangle around this area. I want it to be red and I want it to be thick. Now that of course is under format, shape, outline, red. And shape, outline, thickness, I'm just going to, you're not told to change the thickness, but I really want you to see what it looks like. So let me go back to the form view, and that's what it looks like. Okay, you don't actually see it as red here. It's not very clear. Okay, the next thing that we need to do is put this logo in the form footer. So there is let me just get to the form footer. There is a button that says insert image. And I've got to go and look for the image. So I'm going to browse for it. And they tell us that it's called esports logo. So I'm in my data files, in my exam folder, esports logo, click OK, and I draw the little box and the logo appears. I just want to kind of like divert a little bit from the actual question paper, because a question has been asked in past papers where they ask you to make this image fill this box. Do you see that? Can you see it's not filling the box? Okay, it's not filling the rectangle. So to do that, you need to go into the property sheet of the image and format. Look at this little option here, size mode. And you'll see at the moment the size mode is on zoom. I have another two options, stretch and clip. Watch what happens to my image when I click stretch. You see how it fills the box? When I click clip, that happens. It's just part of it. It's a clip of the full picture. And the default is zoom. But I know they have asked in past exams for you to put it onto stretch, and you've just got to know where to go to. It's 1 mark, but either you'll get it or you won't. Okay, so that is our question 6.8 on the 3 things that you had to do with the form, and doing these 3 things counted 5 marks.